Thank you, Laura. I'll do my best to get through our session quickly so that you can all get to lunch and to the exhibitor awards. What an exciting time to be in ocean engineering and ocean technology. This whole morning has been fantastic. I've got my ticket booked for Limerick. Well, I actually have other reasons to be in Limerick, but I'm super excited about our conferences in 2023. Right now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the state of the society. I'm really happy to report that the volunteer leadership have been working hard through the pandemic. The society is in good financial health. We've been very cautious with our spending over the pandemic, and we now are at our second in-person conference since the pandemic. Third. We just completed our first in-person administrative committee meeting since the pre-pandemic, and we've elected a new executive for the next 2 years, and the society is doing well. Before I get into our awards, we want to recognize a few of our long-serving volunteers who've passed recently. Claude Brancart was one of the most active OES members. He had been on the ADCOM for many years, and also was several different offices on the executive committee and chairman of an oceans conference. In 2015, we awarded him the Emeritus Award for his long-standing volunteer service, and he was highly involved in many OES events. Giuseppe Castellano was a professor emeritus at the University of Genoa, and also a technical chair of an oceans conference. He made fundamental contributions to the theory of iterative learning control of manipulator robots and non-holonomic dynamic systems. He focused on experimental marine robotics and conceived and helped found the Inter-University Research Center on Integrated Systems for the Marine Environment. At his passing, his wife and daughters said, "He is now taking math with the greats of the past. Remember him this way." I'd like to point out some of our activities that have happened this year. This is just a selection of things that have happened, but they've been very successful. We have an underwater communications conference which just concluded in Italy with about 100 delegates and 5 sessions of peer-reviewed papers. The AUV Symposium is a regular event on our workshops calendar, just concluded in Singapore. And the AUV Symposium moves around the world, but coincidentally this year it was co-located with one of our most notable robotics competitions, the Singapore AUV Challenge. That attracts teams from, well, originally from Asia and now all around the world. That is a really exciting event, which I look forward to attending as soon as possible. We also have a really important recognition with the larger IEEE. So many of you know that the Oceanic Engineering Society is just one of 45 societies and councils within IEEE. And IEEE at large recognizes milestones as significant engineering accomplishments that contributed to the profession, to the IEEE, and to society at large. So this coming Friday, we are going to unveil the plaque for the DSV Alvin. In 1965, the US Navy commissioned the Woods Hole deep-sea submersible Alvin. From 74 to 84, Alvin's engineers developed acoustic navigation, communications, photography, lighting, and life support systems specifically intended for the deepest oceans. Alvin became one of the world's most important deep-sea scientific instruments and discovered pressure effects on seafloor microbes, studied hydrothermal events, and revolutionized our understanding of life's origins. This is a photograph of the citation on the plaque on the building at the Woods Hole Institute, which, as I mentioned, we'll be unveiling in our dedication ceremony this coming Friday with a guest list of VIP guests, including the IEEE President-elect, as along with leaders from Woods Hole. If any OS members happen to be from Cape Cod or in the area and are interested in attend, please come speak to us. You're welcome to join us. I'll look ahead a little bit to some of our activities next year, and there are quite a few others that I won't mention in the interest of time, but of course, we're looking forward to Oceans in Limerick in June and in Mississippi in September. And our first workshop in the calendar that I'll mention is the Underwater Technology Symposium happening in Tokyo in March. And we have a number of other events that will be coming up. This week, here at Hampton Roads, we have quite a few activities as well. I'd encourage you to take in the special panel this afternoon on ocean-based carbon dioxide removal. That's a part of our Ocean Decade initiative. I'm familiar with this. I've seen a version of this panel in the past, and it's really, really interesting. This evening, we're going to have an OES member reception. So we'll invite all of you members to join us after the exhibitor reception right here in this building. Tomorrow morning, young professionals will have a breakfast in L2 Suite 2AB. And similarly, on Thursday morning, our Women in Engineering have a breakfast panel. There's also a luncheon for Women in Engineering in Suite 1A on level 2 on Thursday. Finally, every day we've got the society booth, and during the 11 to 2 period, there will be additional OES volunteers at the booth, happy to talk about senior membership if you're interested in that. Some of you might have got an email about that already. Even if you didn't, you're still welcome to come by and talk to society leaders and volunteers at the booth if you're interested in senior membership. And then all day, during all the exhibit hours, we've also got a separate area at the booth, the society booth area, to talk about a number of different Ocean Decade-related initiatives that OES is specifically doing, as well as provide a bunch of information about the Ocean Decade in general. Okay, finally, the 2022 Oceanic Engineering Society Awards. We have a number of awards, but before we get to that, I would like to recognize our fellow. IEEE Fellowship is the most prestigious grade of membership in IEEE. Every year, a very, very small percentage of IEEE members are elevated to fellow status. This year, Dr. Hanumat Singh has been elevated in recognition of his development of imaging techniques and autonomous systems for marine and polar applications. Yeah. On to our awards. As I was saying, we have a number of awards, and this year 2 are going to be presented, the first of which is the Distinguished Service Award. The Distinguished Service Award is given to a volunteer who has provided outstanding service to the society. The award is selected by the the Awards and Recognition Committee upon nomination. This year's award recipient is Dr. John Watson, and the award is presented to him for his work as chair of Oceans Aberdeen in 2007 and 2017, Reconnaissance Committee member since 2010, Administrative Committee member 2006 to 11 and 13 to 18, and finally as Vice President for Oceans from 2019 to 2022. John has been highly involved in the operation of OES, including conferences and conference planning and management. I've already mentioned the roles he's held, and most recently, Vice President of Oceans. So in that role, he's been responsible for the oversight of all Oceans conferences, and during his tenure, approximately 8 conferences, at any given time, we have about 8 conferences under development, including the 2 that are actively in any given year. John is continuing as a volunteer for the next 3 years as a member of the Administrative Committee. So, John, would you please join me? I'm not sure where let's just come right here. We'll do the little thing up here. Yeah. General
First thing is, where did you get that picture from? Anyway, thank you to all my colleagues in the OES for this award. It was a big surprise and is much appreciated. A long service award like this, though, you know, comes with a lot of backup, a lot of friends, family, colleagues, all help to culminate in something like this. So thank you once again. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Thank you. I'll give you this. I'll give you the box afterwards. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for coming to this presentation, and we have only one more award before we all go to the exhibit hall and see the opening there and have lunch. So the final award is the 2022 Presidential Award. This award is not presented by nomination, but rather by selection of the president. So this year, and again, the award is for service to the society. This year, I chose to award this to Michael Romer. The award is given for Michael's leadership of the Oceanic Engineering Society Houston chapter and long-standing commitment to the Offshore Technology Conference, serving on the OTC Program Committee from 2011 until now, and on the OES Technical Program Subcommittee. So, Michael. Thank you.
Just like to thank IEEE for this award. I joined IEEE at university, I guess it was 2000 now. And when I went into industry, I wasn't really doing anything electrical anymore other than using my laptop at the office. So I figured that I wanted to stay involved in IEEE, and that's when I heard about the Offshore Technology Conference. And IEEE had a strong subcommittee of at least 10 people. And so I figured I could have more of an effect there, and so that's where I've been. And I've been very happy to serve in that role, and I look forward to future years of it. So thank you once more for this.
Well, so with that, I'm going to conclude our awards presentation for 2022. Thank you all for coming, and please enjoy the week. I hope that you all have a very successful conference, and we'll see you in the exhibit hall.